6 terrified children and their school bus driver were abducted in Chowchilla, California, and buried alive. Now all 3 kidnappers are free, and that's causing outrage among the now grown-up victims.
For this woman, stepping onto this school bus is an act of courage. Laura Yazzie Fanning was just 5 years old in kindergarten when 26 of her fellow classmates and their bus driver were kidnapped and buried alive.
I was sitting right about here. Right here is where I was sitting at the time when they come up on the bus with guns.
46 years later, the pain is just as raw as that fateful day in 1976.
The kidnappers held the children and their driver in this bus at gunpoint. For 11 hours, they drove in the sweltering heat, no bathroom breaks, no water. Then finally, at 3:30 a.m., they arrived at a quarry nearly 100 miles away. Then the kidnappers did something unthinkable. They put them in a moving van and buried them all alive.
Miraculously, after 16 hours, they escaped through a hole in the roof of the van. Inside Edition reunited Laura and several of her fellow classmates, all victims of the infamous Chowchilla kidnapping, the biggest mass abduction in U.S. history. Darla Neal was just 10 years old when it happened.
I wasn't moving off the bus. When they were telling everybody, to get off, one of them got tired of it and came up and said, "Get up," with the gun to my head.
The kidnappers, all from wealthy families, were sentenced to life in prison, but now all 3 have been paroled. Frederick Woods is the last of the kidnappers, released in August, much to the outrage of these victims.
I think that was a huge mistake. They were initially sentenced to life without parole, and that one should have stuck.
Classmate Jody Heffington Medrano passed away last year. Her son Matthew says she did everything she could to keep these guys in prison.
She would take it personally because she always tried to make it to as many hearings as she could because she wanted to try to be a voice for it.
The bus now sits in a museum just outside of Chowchilla, and as a final act of courage, Laura signs the bus with one very poignant message.
Forever connected, we are survivors.